Hello everyone, I'm Jacob Metter, and for my essay, I decided to look into the Han Dynasty. To be honest, before I started this, I didn't know much about ancient China. I just kind of assumed it was a long line of powerful kings who had everything under control, and they built a big wall. I didn't really think about people or the struggle, but after doing the research, I realized it was an actual total mess at the start. It began a 5-year civil war after the first emperor died, and the guy who eventually won and started the Han, Liu Bang, was actually just a regular farmer. That was my first big surprise. A normal guy could build an army, and start a dynasty that lasted 400 years. One of the biggest things I learned was how much they had to fight to keep the borders safe. They had these rivals called the Xiongnu who were amazing on horseback and lived in these tents called yurts. According to our textbook by Bentley, Emperor Wu had to send 100,000 soldiers out there to stop the raids. But while they were winning on the outside, the government was falling apart on the inside. This is the palace drama I wrote about. Since the emperors were dying, young kids were just being put in charge, and the adults around them, the eunuchs and the royal in-laws, were fighting over money. They totally ignored the common people, which eventually caused the whole system to break down. It made me realize that a country is only strong as the people is running it. My view of the Silk Road changed a lot too. I used to think it was just a peaceful trail for trading, but UNESCO points out it was actually a high-stakes operation, and the Han were obsessed with keeping the secret of silk safe. They even had laws saying they'd execute anyone who told foreigners how to make it. They used that secret to trade gold and these heavenly horses for their military. It wasn't just a road, it was a way for China to become the most powerful player in Asia. It's pretty wild to think about merchants crossing the Taklamakan Desert with camels just to bring back some spices and grapes, but that trading changed the world. This project really changed my perspective on history. It's not just a list of boring dates, it's a story about how the people find hope when things get bad. For example, when the government was falling, the people turned to Buddhism. According to the Asian society, this religion came from India, and these people gave a sense of peace during all war and corruption. My appreciation for Chinese history grew a lot because I realized the Han Dynasty never really disappeared. Even today, the main ethnic group in China calls themselves the Han. Doing this project showed me that stuff that happened 2,000 years ago, the trade and the religion and the politics, is literally the reason China looks the way it does today. Thanks for listening.